Hey everybody, cheers and hello. Tuesday the 16th? Yes, it is, of May. Folks, thanks for the feedback. My visit with John Weathers yesterday was a delight. Absolutely delightful. And I heard from John again already. This morning sent me an email. Kind of beat me to it. I was going to and do that to him, saying how much I enjoyed talking to him yesterday, and he contacted me saying pretty much that and looking forward to our next conversation. It was a wonderful, warm visit. As I said to him, and I think I've said it to some of the other folks that I've interviewed, that part of their essence comes through their music. And the fact that their music, Gentle Giant, for example, their music has been so fortifying and uplifting and educational for me. I just really knew that they had to be decent people, not necessarily saints, but decent people. And so far, this has been the case. Not just with Gentle Giant, but with everyone that I've interviewed so far. It's been wonderful. There was an attempt to contact Carrie last year. He expressed no interest in being interviewed over here, which is fine. But if you ask me, the keeper of the band is all the members. And I was surprised at how, frankly, how much of that is true of Gary Green, the guitarist. He's definitely one who has worked to preserve the legacy of the band. Literally, he and Carrie with those tapes and other things. I love that I can have an honest conversation with intelligent people and I don't have to regret anything I said. I thought it was great, talking about, well, I was just utterly flattered that Gentle Giant bothered to watch my videos all the way back to 11 years ago when I showed my collection and at that time disparaged their last two albums, like most fans did. And again, honestly, upon reassessing them since talking to the members, I see what they were doing and I hear the quality of the music and I hear how they were attempting to change with the times to stay in the business. Originally as a fan, all I heard was what I'm not hearing what I want to hear. That was great to go over that with Gary when I talked to him and with John yesterday. So along those lines, I have another conversation scheduled Thursday this week with Guy Seggers of Eclectic Maybe Band and Universe Zero. That's coming up Thursday afternoon. But I'll talk to, absolutely would be delighted to talk to John again and Gary again. Dereck too, if he would like to. So, excuse me. As I showed this yesterday, In Fields of Ardith by Eyes of Blue. If you haven't heard this album, what John says is true. This really is an early example of progressive rock that is completely under the radar of most prog rock listeners. What he said about all those elements going from jazz to avant-garde to R&B to psychedelia, all in one band, in one album. Actually, it's all of those elements are on this album. All of them. This is really very progressive and completely off the radar of most so-called progressive experts. Get busy, people. And as I said to him, I'm regret that I sold Crossroads of Time. The first Eyes of Blue album, I was too young, didn't really know what I had. Sure enough, people, every day, because of age, we're aging out. Someone passes every day. Yesterday it was Francis Monkman of Curb Dare, we heard that he passed away. This is their second album. Great English band, progressive, with Daryl Way doing the Vivaldi thing, and Francis being the keyboardist and guitarist, and being able to wail on both. It's a great album. I remember when this first came out in 1970 as a picture disc, because it was like, you didn't see picture discs except like for little kiddie records. At least ways back then, for me that was the main time I ever saw a picture disc. So it was perplexing to see it in the racks. It just didn't look right. Never bought one, but their first album, this is a promo of it. Great album. Yeah, I listened to some Curb Dare because I love this band. Live album, Francis Monkman is on here. Kicking ass along with the rest of the band. Sanjay, Christina, and Daryl Way. And this, spooky, Phantasmagoria, way cool, and what a graphic. This isn't my original copy. I bought this when it came out, probably with money I was making on my second job as a kid. When this came out, 1972, so I was 14. Loved it, but it was also kind of spooky, the B-side, It's like, ooh, wow, this is weird. Another record, this is not the original cover, it's a reissue, and it's like, I wish they had kept the old cover, because this is just so unattractive. Friends of mine, Harvey Andrews. It's like something you'd see on somebody's mantelpiece in their home, But the deal is, when I came across this album in the used section of a record store and saw that Dave Maddox was on here, along with Roy Babington, who was in Soft Machine, and then Francis Monkman playing on this, I said, these are good players. I'm going to get this. There's probably something good on here. And it is good for the most part. That English singer-songwriter type of thing with the folk roots. And there's a couple of things on here where they're doing rock and roll, which I don't care for. But the main bulk of this album, you can't tell by the cover. It's really good. Francis Monkman is on that. And he played around. He was on Renaissance, one of their albums, with Camel, and a lot of people. He's a good player. Did I put it away? No, here it is. I have one of his solo albums. Almost like library music, almost. But it's on the Klaus Schultz Innovative Communication label. Energism. Instrumental for the most part, and really enjoyable. Rest in peace, Francis, and also John Giblin, bass player. He was involved in Brand X, and I have him on some other records. He passed away yesterday, or recently, and it was announced yesterday. I sent a message to Nathaniel Mellors to let him know I listened to this all the way through yesterday. Side 2, it just got better. This is excellent. This is one of my albums of the year. I'm going to tell you already. The World in Air Quotes by the God in Hackney. Seek this out. This is a brand new release. If you are progressively inclined, or if you like the stuff in the David Sylvian corner, if you like atmospheric things that don't do the same thing, but it's ranging, this is it. God in Hackney. This is such a leap forward. they just keep getting better and better, and this is real good. It grabs you right away. They put a lot of work into this album. That's what I hear. I hear a lot of work. This is real good. A random poll yesterday. Nothin Sirius is the name of the band. Monkey Business. This is one of those cheap heat albums that El Bicho Feo is good at featuring on his channel. Jazz rock. It's quite good. Crap cover. Well, to me, see, I like good graphics, and this is just like, to me, it's throwaway, as well as the picture on the back. It's a mindset towards the presentation of the music that, to me, is kind of, to me, it works against the music. This album deserves a cool ass cover because it's very good musically. Now, I haven't bothered to look closely at who's playing on here, but the playing on the album is good. Let me keep going, because I listened to this London Brew again, and finally all the way through. And there's nothing to discount about this. This is very good. Don't listen to people who are saying that they failed because they weren't trying to be Miles Davis's Bitches Brew. They aren't. It's the spirit, and they do their own thing with how they interpret that spirit. I think it's good. I like it. I do. I like it. Another album that features Francis Monkman. Well, he's on here, and actually he is featured. I was listening to this yesterday, 801 Live, with Phil Manzanero, Eno, and stuff. Great jamming album. Simon Phillips as a teenager, just kicking ass right from the go. But the other thing that I noticed yesterday that not usually, but I paid attention to for the first time seemingly, is Francis Monkman's contributions on keyboard, in particular on the Fender Rhodes clavinet. Good album, 801 Live. What else? Well, people were showing their Mothers of Invention albums for Mother's Day. So I actually listened to this, side one. Really enjoyed it. It's like, sometimes I forget just how far ahead of everybody Frank Zappa was. And this is my autographed copy. Don Preston autographed it. Jimmy Carl Black, the Indian of the group, he autographed it on the front. Bunk Gardner on the inside. When I met these guys both times, I met them on two different occasions. It was nice because I was able to have a drink with them and talk music. And Jimmy Carl Black, well, actually all three of these guys they wanted to talk, and we just babbled on and babbled on. I love it. This is a great album. And this one too. We're only in it for the money. Originally they wanted it to be the Sgt. Pepper pastiche for the front cover, and the label just chickened out, concerned about legalities, and so this ended up being the outside cover. And this is a great album. Seriously. Even upsetting, controversially, the things he's talking that they address on here can be a little upsetting. So there you have it. Moon Men. Dave Newhouse and Jerry King's new project is out, and they sent me a download, so I've listened to some of it. But I haven't said anything about it, Jerry or Dave, if you see it, because I have been preoccupied, honestly, with my own endeavor as far as deep listening and really absorbing something new. So when your CD comes in of the new Moon X, I'm going to give it a deep listen. My plan is to go back and listen to the series to see where you've come with the new Moon X. I did listen to the first track, and it's like, okay, these guys they're coming at us. But I've been very, very caught up with the energy of this project, the Muse. I'm hoping to hear from Discus, because that's my contact in England. I hope to hear from them this week that they've received the discs and what to do, how to word the link on Bandcamp for European sales. I don't know what to put on there. So I'm waiting for that, okay? I still have a few copies of this left here, and it's well worth having. Very proud of this album. Very, very, very proud. Oh, one more thing. While at Noise Fest, Scott Schultz was there. He runs the Timble Tapes label. Timble Tapes. I've talked about them, and some of you folks may know them. Cassette culture. It's been around for decades. Tape trading and cassette culture. And I interviewed Scott, but off camera because it was so noisy. I decided not to bother. And Scott is very verbal. In other words, when you ask him something, he gives you a long answer, lots of information. So it would have been cool, but at the same time, it was too noisy. But at Noise Fest, he had his 3 latest tapes on his label. And I did ask him about it. It's a labor of love. He makes no money on these, ever. These are his latest Timble tapes. Alex Jacobson from Omaha, Our Loop, and Spelunkers. I haven't played the Spelunkers yet. I asked him about the look, because they're all of this black and white look. He works primarily with one artist who puts together the graphics. It's pretty cool. I have several of, not all of his tapes, but I have several of them. And it's very fitting. It's sound exploration. Some of it is just plain noise. I love that this expression continues in the world of sound exploration, making a racket, making a joyous racket, making an upsetting racket. It's wonderful. So there's new Timble tapes if you collect tapes. Okay. I'm just getting my motor running. And I'll say it again. Get it while you can. I did recently get an order directly from England. And I know you had to pay a lot of postage to get the CD. But you're wise. If you really want this, if you really want the CD, don't wait. I hope that things should go well with the connection through Martin in England to get those copies on sale over there for cheaper postage. But I haven't heard anything yet. So if you want the CD, you better just get it. Excuse me. Family, hello, and love, always sending you love. Friends, sending you love. I love I love the feedback. So many people said yesterday, I'll just go through for you. What a beautiful conversation. I love what you are doing with your channel, Dereck. Well, thank you. I'm just being me and being the kind of person that I want to be around. Benji says, great, how uplifting. No energy, no negative energy whatsoever. Why would there need to be? And even if we had a difference of opinion, that in and of itself is not negative energy. It's wonderful to be able to talk to mature people who can handle facts and differences of opinion. Yes, just over and over, people are just saying, just so good. What a lovely interview. Thank you, Dereck and John. Well, you did it again. Another great talk with a great musician. I loved it. Yes, yes. What a lovely man and great conversationalist. Thank you. Thank you. This is not a great interview. It is a superb interview. Thank you very much. I loved it. I loved it. I love people. I love people so much that your essence comes through. So annoying people are annoying. And certain type of people, when I get around them, I feel them. It's like, I don't want to be around you, and I get away. I was born this way. I got a pretty good bullshit detector, So that has a lot to do with why, as people say here, people appear to get comfortable with me really quickly. This is true, and is even more so in real life. Almost any time I'm out in public and have a random interaction with a stranger, most often it's almost like making instant friends. People warm up to I think it's my face, but it's my essence. It's my aura. That talk about aura isn't bullshit. It's true. We're electrical. We give up energy. So I feel your energy, and you'll feel mine too. So anyway, once again, recapping yesterday's John Weathers Gentle Giant interview, that was a blast. I really enjoyed spending time with John, and I will not wait too long to contact him again. Like I said, on Thursday, my second visit with Guy Segers of Universe Zero. And this time I intend to pull and ask about, I didn't ask about my favorite Universe Zero album that he's on, Sous de Dehors. I didn't show it, but I will this time, and I'll ask him about that. Okay, folks, I love hearing from you. Take care.